power exuded from me, to her, and that's what it had done, and I man, but he waited. The ironic part of it, right? It was so amazing when I think about it, is that he waited until I left Philadelphia, man. I think Philadelphia was a way for me to just start anew, and stuff like that. But again, he couldn't use no one else in that town, though. He couldn't use no one else in that state. For someone to hook up with her, like I did. And I had to come from the state of Pennsylvania to hook up with her. Like that. Like he couldn't use anybody else. That would make me feel. That made me feel good, man. That he there was no one else in that state that could do what I done. It's amazing how that feels. You mean to tell me no one in that state? You use me from the state of Pennsylvania. I come all the way from the state of Pennsylvania to go to that state and hook up with her, like give that power to hook that power up to her, man, and stuff like that. And you mean to tell me no one in that state could did what I did? Like that, and when I think about that, I really think about that. No one did what I did. Like, no one did what Kobe did. Well, at least no one did what I did to Kobe. No one did what I did to Oprah. Like, why did he had to wait until I moved there? You mean to tell me and no one in that whole state could have done what I done? It made me feel unique in some way, man, because he waited until I moved from the state of Pennsylvania to go all the way over there and touch her. And the thing with that is that because Oprah had the job of a news anchor woman already. It wasn't like she touched my life with the news anchor woman, because I seen her as a news anchor woman, but here's the thing: I didn't become a news anchor woman though. I didn't. It wasn't like that. She influenced me to become a news anchor woman. Not at all. Not even Beverly Williams or Lisa Thomas Laurie. I had that in me, but I didn't never become one. And stuff like that. I never became one, a news anchor woman and stuff. I had an interest there, but I never became those. So when I hooked up with Oprah, it wasn't like, like she the power came from her. If that was the case, then why did I have to go there and back? If she had the news anchor position as at the job as a news anchor woman, and if she had, I don't know, I imagine that she made a nice piece of money with that, but here I'm from Philadelphia. I don't have a great job like she had, like that. And so I was like, well, why do she need me? Why did God want to use me to hook up with her? If she had that going on for herself, if she had the news anchor job and the money and all this sort of stuff, what did she need me for? What did she need me for if she had that going for herself? But I think God used me based on the power thing. I think God wanted me to hook up with her and send that power to her and exude all the TV stuff that came in her life after the news anchor woman. Because once the news anchor woman, after I went over there and touched that TV, power exuded out of me into her, and she was the news anchor woman that I saw on the TV. And after that, then she was a talk show host. Then she got her own network. And then still got a camera. She can do major interviews and all that stuff. All the TV stuff came into her life after I went over there and touched that TV. And you would say, like, well, wouldn't Oprah have the power already? Well, if that is the case, then why didn't they need me? Why did God wait till I go over there? Wanted to go over there and hook up with her for? I didn't become a news anchor woman. So it wasn't about that. So why did God want me to hook up with her? I think because of the power that exuded from me to her. You know, that same power from me, because I had interest in news anchor woman and stuff like that. You know, even though I didn't have a job in that, but I had the interest there, and God used that interest in me, exuded right to Oprah, just like Kobe in the basketball. That same power, man, and that power created a future basketball player, and that power created a talk show host. Then she got her own network. She was in movies, and she created movies and cast people in those movies, and she still got a camera that she can that she can do major interviews with. And a lot of time, and when I think about Oprah, I see a lot of me in Oprah. I really do. I see a lot of me in Oprah, man. I do, man. And you know, I over the years, it's not just now. I've been seeing it. But I was like, you know, I always thought, okay, God, if that was something, when I heard her say years early, for years, one day I seen an interview of her. I always knew I was destined for greatness. I always knew that I was destined for greatness. And when she said that, I was like, it was something in me agreed, you know, with her about myself. And, you know, and in some ways, I see Oprah a lot. I see a lot of me in Oprah. And again, that power that exuded out to her that day, I went and turned that TV on. I went over there and touched that TV, that I exude power into that TV. And she came on there. And everything after that, she did in television. After I went over there and touched that TV, the power exuded out of me right into her. And she became, after she was a news anchor woman, she became a talk show host, got her own network, and started in movies and put other people in movies and pulled out a camera. And I see so much of Oprah. And she started that school. I see so much Oprah in me, man. Or should I say, I exuded all what was in me into Oprah. And when it came to because I have the news anchor woman was already there in me before I even saw her. the talk show thing, I always had that. I had that too, because that's part of the news anchor woman. But again, again, television can go in so many different areas, and stuff like that. And that's why she went into so many different areas. Yeah, she was the news anchor woman, then the talk show host, and then her own network and stuff like that. So again, once I touch the TV power can go into many different. Once I touch it with power, her with that power, then again she could go in many different areas in television that she chooses to. Once she got in the door of, once I touched that power, once I touched that ass with that power, man, she went into a whole lot of different areas of television. But it was me, again, it started with me with the power, with the news anchor woman. News anchor woman was my interest, and the news anchor woman appeared on the TV when I went over there and touched the TV. Once I exuded the power to the TV and turned that TV power on, there was a news anchor woman sitting right there. And so, in a way that it happened, it's also so magnificent, because if I had interest in the news anchor woman, God put a news anchor woman right there once I turned that TV on. And it's amazing how he did that. And I wonder, like, when he did that, that was a way for me to exude that interest, that power out of me into her, right into her, exude all that power, because God knew that news anchor woman was my interest. So anything that were in me, when it came to that, exuded right into Oprah, man. And she became all these different a news anchor woman, a talk show host, and got her own network and do interviews and stuff like that. All of that, I see the same stuff. All of that, I see in me, and that's why I say the power that the stuff that I had in me exuded out into Oprah, and I can see. I see. What I see is that was similar to Oprah. Was at one time I thought I had great communication skills at one point, and but the other thing was that the news anchor woman, the talk show, not specifically a talk show. I like to talk anyway, but. The other thing was school. I always thought that school was very important. Books were very important, and she do the book club thing. I always thought school was very important. She put out a school for the girls over there in Africa. Everything that I see what Oprah did was in me already, and that's why I say. When I pushed out everything that was in me, went right to Oprah. That day I went and turned the TV on, and I went over there and touched that TV power, and power exuded out to me into her once she came. Once I seen her into her life, and it went right to Oprah, man. And what I see, all the stuff that she did when it came to the school for the girls, books, communications, talk show, her own network, and all that. And the thing about that, I got my own channel. I can do whatever I want. I have my own channel too. When you look at it, if I go I mean, she got her own network. I got my own network too. I mean, you know, I put out videos and stuff like that and do my own thing with that. You know, everything that I see that Oprah did, the only thing I didn't do is movies. But anything else that I see that Oprah did, I did already. I mean, I had already in me. The only thing I didn't, I did that movies and the things that she did as far as she got other endorsements like to the Weight Watchers and stuff like that. I didn't get into that. You know, but you know, that's because, you know, she was already in all of what she did in television went out into Weight Watchers, you know, and she got those other endorsements and stuff like that. But it started with television. All the stuff, again, when I went over to that TV and turned that TV, when I touched that TV, and she came upon, and everything exuded out from me unto her. And everything, mostly everything that I see that Oprah done, I had it in me already. And that's how I knew that everything exuded out. And into, because I see myself in Oprah. I see myself in Oprah. And everything, once I went over there and touched that TV, and power exuded out of me right into her life. And everything that happened that she did, TV, talk show, her own network, her schooling, communications, schooling, a lot of that I already had in me, so I think it was exuded right into Oprah's life, man. And you know, the school, I always was interested in school, you know, and stuff like that, but everything that I see, it exuded out right into Oprah's life, from me to her. And I think she took it. The only thing I didn't do was endorsements. Endorsements when it came to Weight Watchers and stuff like that. I didn't do, you know, stuff like that. But everything else, I see all a whole lot of similarities. Just like Kobe Bryant, you know, the basketball thing. You know, I threw that ball up against it, you know, all way past half court, right into the basket. And a basketball player was born that same year, and he became a future basketball player. And that person was Kobe Bryant. And because of that power that came from me when I touched that ball, same thing when it came to me when I went over there and touched that TV, the power exuded out, you know, from me to Oprah. And the power, once I touched that basketball, power exuded out right into Kobe Bryant's life. And he was born that same year I threw the ball up, and then it created a future basketball player, you know, like that. And that same style of play, once I threw the ball up, and that same style of play he did in his basketball career, you know, and sit like that, that power. I looked at the power thing, because I can't see how God will use me, and they will be like, even though they were stars and stuff like that, that they would be like, they influenced me. No, they didn't, because if they had the power already, then they wouldn't have to use me. If they had the power and they had the skills and all this whole stuff, they wouldn't use me. They wouldn't have to use me. Why did God use me then? To touch them, or throw the ball up, or went over to the TV and turned it on, and Oprah is on there. Why did he use me then? If they had all this power and stuff like that, it ain't like Kobe Bryant influenced me to be a basketball player. He was just born, so he couldn't influence me. So it wasn't like Oprah Winfrey influenced me to be a news anchor woman. I already had the influence in me, like that. But she didn't influence me to go out and become a news anchor woman, because I never did, and stuff like that. So it wasn't about that. But I again, if they had this power on their own, they certainly wouldn't need me. But God made me hook up with them, because I had this same I had the same interest. That's what God used. He used my interest to hook up with them, and stuff like that. It was like, I'm gonna hook you up to them, and with your interest, that power within you, I'm going to exude it right into them, and make them the biggest stars in the world. Because that's what happened, man. I'm going to exude that power within you. That interest that you have is so big, it's so powerful. I'm going to use that, and I'm going to exude it into these two people, and they are going to become huge. And that's exactly what happened. When it came to basketball, Kobe Bryant, basketball player, look how huge he became. When it came to Oprah Winfrey, that same power goes, all this interest in me with basketball exuded into Kobe Bryant's life. All this news anchor woman and talk show and all this other stuff, and the school and communications and all of this stuff, all that is going to be exuded into Oprah Winfrey's life. And look how huge she became. I'm going to take that same energy and power within you, and I'm going to exude it into their lives. I'm going to take that energy and power into exude it into their life. And I think God knew that. I think in some ways that I don't know. In some ways I didn't think I could. In some ways I didn't think that I could become those things, in a sense. And I think He used them to take that energy and that same. If we had the same thing within us, based on the news, if I had the same thing that Kobe. If I had basketball and that was an interest in me, and I cultivated that within me and stuff like that, and it was still there. It never went anywhere, but God said, okay, I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna take it and put it in someone else, that same energy, but I'm gonna give you the power to transfer it into Kobe Bryant's life. That same interest and that same power. I'm going to hook you up to someone to issue that energy and power, that same interest and power. I'm going to take it and issue it into Kobe Bryant's life. That same interest. I'm going to use somebody with the same interest, and I'm going to exude that power into their lives. Like that, and that's what I think God, exactly what God did. He said, "I'm gonna take. Now I want you to go somewhere else, and I want to take this interest of yours, and I'm going to take it, and I'm going to use power with it, and I'm going to exude it into someone else's life, and but I want to take you to another state to do it, and he did, you know, and that's what I see. That's what I see, and that's I think exactly what happened. He took that same power, man. He took that same interest. What he did was use my interest. If my interest is basketball, he issued that same power. He took the same interest and put power to it, and connect me with Kobe. You know, connect me with him. He took that same interest and power and connect me with Kobe. And he was born in 1978. He was born, and also he was a future basketball player because of that same interest and power. Because of my interest and my power, I'm going to hook you up with Kobe Bryant. With that same interest and same power, I'm going to throw that ball across the room. And it's going to go into the basket. And with that same interest and power, I'm going to throw that, I'm going to get you to throw that ball across the room. And it's going to, I'm way past half court with this same interest and power. I want you to throw that ball across the room and way past half court, and it goes, and a star is born. Kobe Bryant is born. That was 1978 when I threw that ball across the room. In 1978, Kobe Bryant was born. Kobe Bryant was born. That same power and interest that you got in you, I'm going to transfer it now into Kobe Bryant's life. Once he is born. Once he's born, because it was 1978 when I threw the ball in. Once he was born, I'm going to exude that into his life. And he became a future basketball player. Same thing with Oprah. That same power and interest that you have and news anchor woman, I'm going to exude that in someone else's life. That same power and interest that you have, I'm going to take that and exude it into someone else's life. And I'm going to take you to another state to do it. And that's exactly what happened. He took me to another state. And he took me to another state and put that, you know, and I went over to the TV and touched that power exuded out, and the person that came on the screen was Oprah Winfrey. And that same power and interest exuded right into her, all that was in me. When it came to television, when it came to TV, all that power, all that interest exuded out of me right into her, man. And you know, like that, because, you know, and I believe that's exactly what happened. It wasn't about Oprah influencing me. It was me influencing her. And that's exactly what happened, because why would God if she had that news anchor job and all that stuff, why would he need me then? But I think it was for me to exude that same interest and power into her life. And that's exactly, once I went over there and turned the TV on, and she showed up there. Everything within me, when it came to TV and all that stuff, exuded out into her. And I see a lot of me in Oprah. I see a lot of me in Oprah. And it's amazing how God did that. But when I look at Oprah life and what Oprah have done, when it came to television, when it came to the school, when it came to communications, when it came to you know, giving back, giving monies and this, that, and the other. That's another thing of mine that I don't mind doing if I have it. I see it all over books, the book thing. I see everything that was in me exuded right to Oprah. Like, God, I mean, he matched me up with, I think he matched me up with her perfectly, man. I mean, like, perfectly, man. I mean, when it came, again, when it came to television, when it came to school, when it came to books, when it came to television, period, with and all that, what all that says, television, period. You know, television, period. Ugh. Television, period. When it comes to television, period. Oh. When it comes to television, period. Ooh. When it comes to television, period. Ooh. When it comes to television, period, I see all of that exuded out, man. And it's amazing how God did it. He matched me up. Again, he could have used anybody from he could have used anybody from the state that she was at. He could have used anybody from the state that she was at. But he waited till he hooked me up with her, man. And I think that he did a great job with that, y'all. Because I see so much of me in Oprah. Yep. I see so much of me in Oprah. You know? Well, I'm gonna end this, but I think he matched me up with her perfectly. I think he matched me up with her perfectly when it came to the school work, not work, but my interests. I think he matched me up with her perfectly. I couldn't, man. It's amazing how he do it. Again, he matched my interests up to her, matched my interests up to Kobe, you know, and stuff like that, man. And it was amazing how he did that. But he couldn't use anybody in that state, man. He couldn't use anybody else in that state to match up with her. You know, he had to pick someone like me a girl who now you hear the girl from Philadelphia to match up to. He couldn't pick anybody else from that state to match up to match her up to. He said, hey, there's someone in Philadelphia that I want to use because I want to exude that same power that I had exuded in Kobe. I want to take her and exude that same power in a different state for someone else named Oprah Winfrey. And he did. As soon as I moved over there, he did just exactly that, man. And I had no idea what God had in mind or nothing, man. I had no idea what God had in mind when he did that. I had no idea what God had in mind when he did that. I had no idea when he was going to match me up with Kobe. I had no idea he was going to match me up with Oprah. I had no idea. I had no idea. When I look at that, man, it is something when you think of it. It's something when you think of it. It's something when you think of it. It's amazing, man. I had no idea what God had in mind for me, man. I think that I think at that time I just didn't have my interest wavered and stuff like. I mean, well, my interest. I had the interest, and it was a good interest and stuff, but I just didn't do anything with it, you know. And he found two people that did something with it. And he found two people that did something with it, you know, and with that same interest. But he said, I'm gonna attach some power to it, so it can exude out in their lives. And once I threw the ball up, it exuded right up out into Kobe Bryant's life with that power, the interest in the power. The interest in the power with Oprah Winfrey. The interest in the power. You know, like that. That interest in power, man, it went a long way, especially with Oprah and Kobe. Because you can imagine with Kobe and all the endorsements he got and how he was adored over in China, you know, and stuff like that. But with Oprah, all that interest in power, you know, and the connection was the news anchor woman, man, and it went way beyond the news anchor woman. It was something, man. And the talk show and all in the school, and it was so much. I see a lot of me in Oprah, and that power that was exuded out into her life. Just like Kobe Bryant's, that power, when it came to that basketball. The power that came to her life when it came to news anchor woman, talk show host, the network, and all this little stuff, man. And I see myself in Oprah a lot. I do. And it's amazing how God did that. And again, he didn't use nobody in the state where she was at. He had somebody come from Philadelphia to do it. He had someone like me to come from Philadelphia and go to that state. He used me, man. It's amazing. You know, I feel good about that, but in some ways I wish I hadn't done it, you know. But he used them. And with that interest I had in me, and the power that he used with it, you know, right into their lives, man. It's amazing how he did it. And I'm so happy to think that God would use me to do it. You know, use me to spark that same interest and power into someone else's life. Based on the interest in basketball, the interest in news anchor woman, and anything after that, the talk show. I do that as well. You know, I got my own shit and do my own videos and shit like that and network. I got my own shit, and she got it too. And I see a lot of me and Oprah. I see a lot of me, because I transferred everything I had that was in television over to her, man. Once I went over there and touched that TV. Same thing with Kobe. Everything I had, man, just went to him, man. When it came to that basketball, man. It's amazing how God did that, man. But I'm so glad that he did that that someone else could do it. Like, someone else to do it for the world. I don't know if I had it to do it for the world, if I had the drive to do it for the world. I don't know if I had the drive to do it for the world, but he picked someone else that had the drive to do it for the world, and the drive. I had the interest and the power, and God had the power. Now I'm going to use people who have the drive to do it, and he did. And he did. And he did. He picked people who had the drive to do it. The drive, the willingness to do it. The willingness to do it. And he did. He picked two people, and Kobe and Oprah, you know, and stuff like that. They had the drive to do it. I had the interest, and he had the power. And he put both of them together. And both of them exuded into their lives. My interest, God's power, exuded it into their lives and stuff like that. It was something when you think of it. When you think of it. And I man, it's amazing how God did that. You know? And I just know that I'm glad that God's introduced it to the world. That same interest, yeah, and his power exuded right into Oprah Winfrey's life and Kobe's life, and the world got to see what I had in me all along. And I think through Oprah and Kobe, it showed. Like, it showed, yeah, and you know, that's what I really think, and thank God for that, you know, because I don't know if I don't think I had the drive to do what they did, but did I have it in me? Yes, yes, but I think they had the drive to show it to the world, like. At the time, you know, I do show a little bit of it on my own videos and stuff like that, but God wanted to reach the world with it, and through Kobe and Oprah, you know, he did. He reached the world with it. I'm getting ready to shut this down, but thank God, man, thank God for him doing it to reach the world. Of course they made money off of it and stuff like that, but when I think about how it reached the world, even if I didn't have the drive, they did, and stuff like that, but he exuded that through them and helped me help what I had in me, the drive and all that. The interest, and they had the drive, and put those two together and with power, and exuded it into their lives, and they pushed it out to the world for me, like. and Oprah, again, it went beyond the news anchor woman, went to talk show and all. I do all that myself too. but 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 I think it was everything within me when it came to that television, and so it zooted right into Oprah life. Let me get up from here. I'm gonna cut this off now. Bye.